So the project at hand today is Teak replacement of our Beneteau First 310. You can see the teak has had its best time. It is thin, and in some places you can see the screws popping out, like here. Of course, I removed the screws first by drilling out the wood plug with the Frosner bit and then unscrewing it. And I'll try it already to remove some parts, and it works fairly well by using this method. So basically, and excuse the noise, but I'm taking a 2-inch putty knife and then just tap it in. Okay, I just finished it up, and then we have the big reveal, which shows the extent of the glue. There's going to be quite a bit of cleanup to do. So I'm actually marking all the items in terms of the lines and what pieces they are, because they do have small curvatures, and I'd like to mimic them, transport it onto the new piece. So this is the starboard side. The port side here, this piece is going to be I1. And the curvature here is why I don't want to destroy this piece, but want to copy it. Okay, a small update. It's going painfully slow, but it's working. Another day, and I've changed my plan. As you can see, I borrowed from a friend a rigid oscillating tool with a rigid scraper on top, and it works so much better. So it also cleans up the glue remnants pretty good, but it's difficult to show with just one hand and holding the camera in the other one. But it's doing a great job. Okay, that rigid oscillating tool definitely helped. Job done, end of the day. We got all the strips off and all the 5200s. We're also going to do the cockpit, hand grips. So I've been cutting the pieces of new teak and laying out the pattern as I go. This is the final piece. As you can see, this is going to be the bow orientation, and the reason I do that is next to copying the pattern, I'm copying the holes. Yeah, it just doesn't touch it, so that means that it stays clear. Teak, this teak is kiln dried, so it doesn't really shrink. And to make sure that the top part remains flush, I've clamped it down. There we go. Nice. So the way that works is I'll take the template, and I'll take the piece of wood and put it into the template. It should be a pretty snug fit. Put it upside down. Make sure that the edges are perfectly aligned. And then clamp it down. Put the router on it, and of course, as you can see, the little bearing rolls on top of the template. There we go. So I'm using the old Teak slat to copy where the exact holes need to be on the new slat. And I'm then using a drill press with a 3/8 of an inch countersunk drill bit to go exactly where the hole needs to be. There, and I set the stop so that it's just 1/8 of an inch wood left. So when you put the screw in, there's plenty of space left for the bung. Cleaned up the cockpit with polyurethane remover and then some 1500 sandpaper, followed by 3M's gloss restorer, and then buffed the whole thing to a shine with 3M. And I'm now test fitting the pieces. So first see if the holes are in the right place before I then go and glue it down. So I'm making good progress, putting up the slats, test fitting them. They seem to be fitting quite nicely. Also, what I wanted to show you on the back end side, of course, everyone is labeled so that the corresponding holes match the corresponding pieces. But there are also grooves in there, and that seems to help greatly in when you put the glue on. Take some 1500 sandpaper. And I got this nice little block that is about the width of one area, and then I remove the wax that I put on there previously to restore the original gloss. Alright, we'll take some acetone, just a tiny bit, to remove any remaining grease or debris. And we'll take the 5200. In this case it's mahogany, and we'll make a little circle around the screw hole and then continue with a Z pattern. Careful to stay away from the sides. And we end with a little circle. And I got this little nice pin drive, which is fantastic because you can just plop it through, got it exactly in one hole, and then look to see where the other hole is at. So we have a very nice positioning and don't smear 5200 all over the place. I'm using a screwdriver to just loosely attach it. And then I use a regular screwdriver to increase pressure. Now the glue will disperse, so after a while I'll go back, after 5 minutes or so, I go back to the beginning, and then retighten these before putting the bungs in there. Okay, time to put some wood bungs in. So what I do is I fill up the the holes with round about half of the quantity of the volume with wood glue. That should be good. Then I take the bones, look at them and try to find a flat bottom. They don't always have flat bottoms. Then turn them so that the wood glue gets good, nicely distributed, and then align them with the grain of the underlying piece and just give them a push. There. Okay, so it's the next day, and we're gonna cut these little bungs off. The wood glue has dried. We have here, for that I'll use a suisan, I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, but a little Japanese saw. It has two sides. The top side is for hardwood that we will be using, and then there's a bottom side for softwood. And the way you use these is you put them really flush with the surface. Then they're flexible, thus they're easy to use, and then you hardly apply any pressure, just let the saw do the work, and it cuts really flush. So, start with this one. Voila! Nice flush cut. Give it a quick sand with 150 grit, and here's the result. You know, it looks almost like new. And now up to the boat and do the same thing at the boat. We're making good progress here. All the bungs are in. That is still a piece that I still have to do, but other than that, it's time to cut them flush. So we're almost done, and then there's a piece on top of the companionway where the blue tape is right now that needs to be made. But other than that, it's all done. It looks cool, smooth. And here a picture from the stern. Gave the whole cockpit a quick once over with Star Bright Teak oil, and boy does it shine. Looks brand new.